you need to be, and you should by now be proficient at using the PO method to construct your paragraphs of evidence. Okay. In the beginning, you have your topic sentence, your point, which tells the reader what that paragraph is going to focus on. You have your examples of evidence. Sometimes there's only one for a specific paragraph. Sometimes there's 3 or 4 examples of evidence, okay, with explanations. You don't just say there was violence and then list, okay, there was a civil king, this, there was this, that, there was that, and you need to explain, okay. And then you establish your link or your line of argument, okay. That last sentence has to tell the reader, this is how what I'm saying here relates to that. Okay? This is how it supports the point I made in the introduction. So if we look, for example, at the essay on the Black Consciousness Movement, okay? The Black Consciousness Movement successfully used its goals and ideas of self-confidence to challenge the apartheid system in South Africa in the 1970s. Okay? Do you agree with the statement? So, one of my paragraphs is going to center on the philosophy of Black consciousness. What was the philosophy of Black consciousness? Okay? That Black people needed to reaffirm their identities, that Black people needed to understand that Black was not inferior, that Black people needed to understand that there was power in being Black, that there was beauty in being Black, that their Blackness didn't make them less than. Okay? So it inspired self-confidence in that it told people that you are powerful, you are beautiful. It instills self-confidence, okay? So my linking sentence, my line of argument in that case would be that by instilling those ideas of self-confidence through getting people to break away from thinking like someone who is oppressed, okay? It was a change of mindset. People have to shift the way they were thinking from I am less than to I am, to just I am. And by breaking that, they were instilling self-confidence. Okay? And this challenged the apartheid system. And why did it challenge the apartheid system? Because the apartheid system told Black people that they were less than, that they were insignificant, that white people were superior to them. So every paragraph that you write within your essay, whether you do one of these 2 topics in the examination, or whether you do both of these topics in the examination, it is important that your essay is structurally correct. Okay? Remember that content is only 50% of the mark. Only half the mark is content-based. The other half is presentation. The other half is your marker saying, did this person use the evidence well enough to substantiate their argument? How did this learner use the evidence to substantiate their argument? Are they just writing a random collection of facts? Or are you just jotting down, like these are all the facts I know about negotiation and I'm just splurging it out on the page? With no order, no care, no rhyme, no reason, I must get a mark here somewhere. Even if you do that, you are not going to get more than 50%. Why? Because half that essay, only half the marks is for content. The other half is presentation. Okay? How has that evidence been presented? Is the argument logical, clear, sequential? Are all the claims that you are making supported with evidence? Are you using evidence to support everything that you are saying? And most importantly, are you connecting your explanation and evidence back to your line of argument? Okay? Are you saying, in the case of that question 3 over there, thus, the black consciousness ideology challenged the apartheid system, which aimed to separate people, because the black consciousness movement and the black consciousness philosophy aimed to unite people. Now you would have expanded on that content in the body of that paragraph, in the explanatory lines of that paragraph. But that concluding sentence, that linking sentence that links it to your argument is the thus. Okay? Those the ideas of self-confidence, okay? The idea of unity brought people together, whereas apartheid aimed to separate people. And in doing so, it challenged the apartheid system. Okay. So, we are done a little bit early today. I don't want to push on with any more. We've covered quite a lot for today. What I really want you to focus on, learners, you have the full paper that I sent through last week. Please work through those questions. They give you a lot of extra practice, okay, in both the skill of answering source-based questions, as well as helping you to study the content for your examinations, okay? So next week and the week after, we are going to we've now focused on paper 2. Why? Because most of you, your tasks that you're writing this term, your source-based and your essay tasks, I'm not talking about the mock exams, will be concentrated on paper 2 content, okay? And so we thought, let's cover the paper 2 content first, that at least it prepares you somewhat to an extent with the skills that you need to cope with that task. So next week and the week after, we're going to be going through the content and revising everything for paper 1, okay? So make sure you do a good read through of all your things for paper 1, because next week's lesson will help prepare you for paper 1 of your mocks and ultimately, obviously, paper 1 of your finals, okay? So do a good read through of the paper 1 sections in your textbook and read through your notes, so that nothing that we're covering is like, oh, I don't remember that, okay? That it's like, even if you do it during the course of the school day, if you do it the morning of, just so that you're coming with a mind that is already aware of the events and the concepts and things that I'm going to refer to. Remember, just like you will walk into your class always prepared, having done pre-reading, okay? And so we try to do some pre-reading for these extra lessons as well. It is very important, okay? So thank you everybody for joining me today, and I will see you all next week, Tuesday. We will be covering paper 1 content.